Yeah, me and a buddy, we were talking tonight. About people that pass away, and then they have what they call a celebration of life. Of course, I always bring up the time that my dad said, "Hey, if you don't come and see me when I'm alive, don't come to my funeral." You know, so we go back and forth about this stuff, and my friend Mike has got to go um, to a celebration of life. The guy is already ashes in a jar and all that, and he means a lot to Mike. Mike has his original motorcycle, and he's gonna drive it in the procession from wherever to the funeral place where the guy would be buried. This topic of a celebration of life, I mean, I've witnessed a couple of them, and it it doesn't make any sense to me that people don't come and like Dad said, they don't come and see you while you're alive. It's like age makes you like less important. Like he's done. You know, when he passes, we'll party and have a celebration. I mean, that don't make any sense to me. Um, I made it my aim to visit those that I felt you would not see again, and on a couple of occasions it was sprung on me last minute, and I made sure that I had made it, and I've held many people in my arms, more than I ever cared to experience. My younger sister, which is the oldest girl, Genevieve, she died at 44 years old on Christmas morning. I wasn't able to be there for her, but I was present with my mom and dad when they got the phone call in the morning. And I lived 4 hours north, so I was at least home, what we call home, with our parents. And that was one of the toughest things I've ever heard come from my father's mouth. I mean, children shouldn't die before the parents and all that. And horrible experience that was. Not long after, there I was with my father. Multiple operations and different things going wrong, and then he sneezed, I guess, and stroked out. That was it. 9 days starving in a hospital, and I would go there with my mom because I was staying with them, and after college, and I saw my father on the ninth day, which was October 10th, 1997, a year to the date that I had decided to move from Vermont after college to come and live with them. And I have the calendar off the wall in the hospital. That was tough because they had to starve him, or otherwise he would jerk. Um, that's all they could do. And got mom out of there when I saw excretion coming out of all angles, and got her right out of there. Her legs buckled. Oh my God. Um, then there was a little space there, and my youngest brother, Anthony, he stroked out at home. But before he actually went into the stroke, my older brother got a phone call at the bar. And the bartender said, "Hey, maybe you should pay attention, because Nick told the guy Tony was slurring when he talked." we got there, and Nick, beat me there, and I was there a couple minutes after him, and I went in the door, and he had just laid my brother, his younger brother, down on the floor, and he was eating food and spitting some of the food out and moving slow. But he smoked a lot of weed, so you know. But the ambulance came after us, and we saw them carry him out, and he was stiff. That's how they are, stiff. And exactly 2 months later, one of the youngest sisters, who's next to Tony, Diane, she's in the hospital dead, heart attack. So that was, Tony was 56, Diane was 54. And then my mother eventually died, and she went into a coma. And we just basically, Nick and I had to unplug her. There were only four of us left, and we talked to each other on the phone. And me and my brother, from the intensive care unit here down the street, we asked the remaining two baby sisters how they felt about unplugging her. And we explained that there was no reason to prolong the coma. She was totally supported by machinery. They agreed, and Nick and I played together and unplugged her. Then my brother Nick, the oldest, went through all kinds of things, and before you know it, a year of suffering, and he sat right here with me, and I went to cancer treatment, different things, but he died from congestive heart failure caused problems, and that was what happened to my first sister, a congestive heart, and it was in the family, and high blood pressure, all that. The very youngest out of seven was misdiagnosed for cancer, and the cancer came up and ate her in front of us, and she went so fast we can't even think of what happened. And she was beautiful. I rode with her, motorcycles, and I miss her. I still have one sister left. Laurie's doing good, and but that's 5 out of 7 kids and the mother and father. So that's 7 out of 9. you know. I dealt with a lot. But I always thought, celebration of life. And what Dad said, you don't see me while I'm alive, then why would I want you to see you at my funeral? But I did. I spent time with everybody, and there's a few things I could probably feel crappy about myself about, but one thing that never slips my mind is it's the fact that I was there and I knew it. And I knew that from a young age. I knew it. It was hard when I was younger. As I got older, I endured the pain, the suffering, and it comforted many, many, many people. I found ways to do that. I always did. And I kept a smile going. If I needed a hug, I knew where to go to get that. And then I would get back in and comfort people. And I did that all without a drink or a drug. That's strength. And that's the strength that I wasn't counting on. When I was drinking and drugging, and talking to counselors and all that, it was usually about weakness. And I guess you'd say I'm strong. and there's no doubt about that. I don't really see people the way other people see them, and I won't say anything. Could easily get beat up for the way I think and what I see. But I guess getting beat up wouldn't be too bad. Kind of a celebration of life, you know what I mean? Yeah, rubbing it into people, and people I always wanted to get even with, right? So what I do for myself is I celebrate life. I celebrate myself. I mean, when I'm not like picking at myself or something, right? I have a lot of faults, and they should be destroyed before God. And and I do. I will easily destroy myself. I'm one of them guys that fires himself. You're fired. You're fucking fired. You don't have to say nothing. I'll just take care of it. Boom. I know. So you don't meet too many guys that go, save your breath. I'll pick up my check. You know. So anyway, celebration of life. You can see I'm doing that. I haven't seen one of my kids in I can't tell you how long, or grandchildren or anything. They expect me to do all the traveling. I think it's going to be like a real shock to the system if they had to do a celebration of life. And they would have the regret of never coming to hang with me, man. I'm fucking cool, man. I mean, I am. I consider myself more of a brother to them, even though I contributed to the life cycle. you know, I'm sure I have a funny way of looking at things, but I'm dead serious about this. You gotta hide the pompadour there. And anyway, I'm running out of people to celebrate. If nothing happens to my kids or grandchildren's all out, I don't care who goes. Hardened by the deceitfulness of comedy. Something like that.